Here are the 11 biggest Kong Skull Island details revealed by its director. Folks, let's face it, during these unprecedented and uncertain times of quarantine and social distancing, we need everything possible to help keep us sane, which is why movies are more important than ever. More specifically, movie viewing parties. They're helping film fans connect over the internet to learn never-before-told tidbits and facts about their favorite films from the filmmakers themselves. Case in point, last week Nerdist and Legendary teamed up for the second edition of our Monsterverse watch-along series with a viewing party of Kong Skull Island. Director Jordan Vogt-Roberts, along with some of the minds behind the movie, jumped onto this hashtag train to share a metric ton of Easter eggs, hidden details, deep-cut references, and so much more about this wonderful monster movie. And here's everything we learned. While yes, past iterations of King Kong and various Toho monster films influenced this version of Kong, Vogt-Roberts revealed that a wider array of other pop culture pieces running the gamut from anime to video games also left their indelible marks on this movie. As Nerdist senior editor Kyle Anderson spotted, the character Gunpei Ikari is in fact a reference to both the Game Boy's designer Gunpei Yokoi and Shinji Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Get in the frickin' robot, Shinji, so you can fight this large ape! And speaking of video games, Japanese video game designer Fumito Ueda's work on Shadow of the Colossus was also a major influence on this movie's imagery. Now, one of the most iconic images from this film and its posters is Kong silhouetted by the setting sun. And according to Vogt-Roberts, this was an image from the very beginning that was incredibly important to this movie. That shot of Kong silhouetted by the sunball and the orange sky was one of the first images in my brain. This sequence was one of the first I started working on, and it was one of the last to be finished. And don't worry, there's more Evangelion, because this shot also shares some visual DNA with the iconic shot of Neon Genesis Evangelion's Eva Unit 01 being framed by the sun. The nerve on this guy! And the visual cues didn't stop there. The monstrous Skullcrawler's design had so many influences, ranging from the two-legged lizard from the 1933 King Kong, to Sachiel from Neon Genesis Evangelion, to No-Face from Spirited Away, and Cubone from Pokémon. So does this mean we could get a Detective Pikachu Monsterverse crossover in the near future? Because I honestly need that in my life more than I can express right now. As for how Kong stacks up to previous iterations of this iconic character, well, we learned that Kong is 104 feet tall in the film, the biggest Kong in Hollywood history. And just when you thought he couldn't get any bigger, he's still growing. To which I have to say, hell yeah! Kong is still growing? He's gonna be dummy thick by the time we get to Godzilla vs. Kong, and I can't wait to see it. Now, despite the different decade and setting of Skull Island, there's still plenty of Easter eggs connecting this to the larger Monsterverse, like everyone's favorite queen of the monsters, Mothra. And as for what other Monsterverse movie Vogt-Roberts would like to tackle next, well, he gave a bit of a tongue-in-cheek answer. He'd like to direct the smog monster Hedorah in A Day in the Life of Hedorah. Legendary also chimed in with a mystery that might be explained as the Monsterverse continues. Hidden connection. Jerry, the voice on the phone with Weaver, is played by Thomas Middleditch, who later starred in the Monsterverse as Sam Coleman in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Could there be a connection between the two Middleditch characters? Well, actually, Hector Navarro got to the bottom of this mystery when he sat down with the cast of Godzilla King of the Monsters last year. Here's what Thomas Middleditch had to say.
Ooh, I mean, I like that idea, so I'm gonna run with it. Yes, he was a news reporter, he met someone, they had a love tryst, and out of it was born this Sam Coleman character, and who he was with is going to be revealed, obviously, in Kong vs. Godzilla, obviously.
We were also treated to a veritable smorgasbord of Kong Skull Island concept art that showed earlier versions of iconic shots that made their way into the final project, including this concept of the Bone Graveyard Attack, which honestly, what a badass name. Now, given that Jordan Vogt-Roberts is also working on the long-awaited Metal Gear Solid movie, it's no surprise that the makeshift boat used by John C. Reilly's character Hank Marlowe is named the Gray Fox, a sly reference to the mysterious cyborg ninja from the Metal Gear game series. Hurt me or... Sorry. Also, despite everything that fans have unearthed about this movie, there are still some major Easter eggs that have yet to be discovered. Of course, this only scratches the mere surface of everything we learned during the Kong Skull Island Monsterverse watch-along. If you want even more inside details, head to Nerdist.com right now to see the full article. And be sure to join us for the final installment of our Monsterverse watch-along series this Thursday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. Pacific, when we're going to be watching along and tweeting along to the next movie in the Monsterverse saga, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Who knows, there might even be a couple special guests, so don't miss it. But in the meantime, tell me, what do you folks think? What's your favorite detail about Kong Skull Island? Are there any other Easter eggs that you noticed? And what monster do you want to see Vogt-Roberts tackle next? Let's discuss. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. And if you want to get notified every time we go live with a new video or drop a new show, hit that little bell down below. That way you're going to be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world. In the meantime, stay safe, be healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.